Flosstube, it's Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome. Today is Thursday the 10th of July 2025. This is Flosstube number 53 and this is my Flosstube about my cross stitch journey. Today I have a bit to show you, but not my normal really huge amount. I had a couple of days of not being very well and a couple of days of very stressful things going on in my life and didn't really get to concentrate stitching a lot. As it does, life gets in the road of that stitching sometimes. So yeah, there's a bit to show you. Christmas in July stitching, my sampler stitching. That's really about it. I didn't work on any other smalls this time around. Yeah, that's really it. So let's get started. Right, so we're going to do Christmas in July stitching first. I'm working on 3 projects for Christmas in July, 2 whips and one new start of a series. So my first whip that I've been working on is the Prairie Schooler Santa's 12 Days of Christmas. My goal is to finish 1 to 4 completely. Hopefully get into number 5 and 6, but definitely 1 to 4. I want this has been going for ages. Need to get these 4 finished. They're being stitched on 40 count cream from Zweigart using DMC threads. Number 1 was already finished before we started Christmas in July stitching. Number 2 was part way through and I've now completed number 2, including all the back stitch. So I'm really pleased to have him finished. That's so good. Number 3, we've done part of the hems, so they now only need filling in with white. This guy needs his white in his face, and then I've come and I used up what I had left of the red thread here and started in on Santa's leg. So slow and steady progress. Haven't really had time to work on a lot on these, but I'm just going to have to make a bit more time towards these. But you'll see what I've been concentrating on soon. Okay, so that is one of my Christmas in July projects. I'm just trying to work out where I'm going to put everything today. Okay, whip number 2 is Mrs. Claus's cookbook from Living on the Rainbow. These are available in Etsy. Mine is black and white, sorry guys. It was a stitch along, excuse me, over Christmas, but now you can buy the whole pattern and put the book together. It's gorgeous. I love seeing a lot of people getting them finished, starting to get them finished now, so they keep popping up on Etsy. If you look up Living on the Rainbow, you'll see this and a few other really neat little wee ones that she's done. I do have a few in my to be started pile eventually, but love this. Okay, so I still haven't finished the back cover. Seriously, it's just backfill stitching, filling in the background, and I need to get this done. I might work on this later this afternoon. I have to go and help a friend out today, and I'm sure I'll get a little bit of downtime. I might be able to put a few threads in. So hopefully, and that's 18 count Ada, the front covers. Now the recipes. I've taken away all the border framework. It would have been like this one where it had all the dark purple and that around it, so I knew exactly what size they were. So I've removed those from the pages that I've finished. So recipe 1 and 2 were completed before. I have completed recipe 3 this last week, and I started working on recipe 4. Now I did get further ahead and I'd made a counting error. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I was out by 1.5 threads, and it was going to end up partway in the spine of the book, so it had to come out. We'll restitch it. So North Pole Pizza is slowly getting done, but finished this one, so that's happy. On to this one. Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count, called for DMC threads. There's lots and lots of pages to this project, and she has wonderful finishing instructions if you're worried about doing this kind of project. She has it on a video as well, I believe. Pretty sure she does. But wonderful, wonderful. And it's great. We're seeing lots of them come up on Instagram at the moment, where people are, they've stitched it, and for Christmas in July they're now finishing the project. So that's just awesome. I'm hoping by the end of July, but if not, you know, it'll get done. Okay, so my new start for Christmas in July was the 15 Sing-a-Song of Christmas stockings from JBW Designs. These came out years ago, and they came out in the completed book, so they're all together. I have got some of them in the little cards when they first came out, but oh, this is so much easier to read because they're nice and big, blowing up, and wonderful to see. So we started at the beginning of the book, so that way it's the easiest way to work my way through. So the first one I've stitched is Over the River 1. Now I'm stitching mine on a piece of 36 count. I was going to do 40, but they were going to be too tiny, so this is 36. 1/2 threads using the DMC. So here is stocking number 1 completed. I haven't put in the there's little star ornaments to go on top. I haven't sewn those on yet. I'll do that when I do the full completion. Alright, so number 1 is done. Then let's see how good my juggling is. Not good. Number 2 there. So 1 stitched and fully completed. Number 2, here comes Santa Claus. He's cute. So we've started him. I haven't quite finished him. I just haven't got back to him yet. And there he is there. And he's gorgeous too. So 1.5 3/4 stockings are done. Right. They're gorgeous. So I'm using the called for DMC threads. Like I said, piece 36 count. I just tea dyed this one, so it's not quite cream, it's not quite white, it's kind of just a really light tan, and I wanted that. I didn't want a real deep tan, so I wanted them to I looked at what colour all my other ornaments were and changed it up a little bit. You don't want them all the same material on the tree. Okay, where's that? Right, so that is Christmas in July stitching, where I'm at, what I've completed. Haven't had a lot of time to do it, like I said, just it's one of those things, but we'll get there. It's only the 10th. We're still fine. We've still got what, 20 days to go? We'll be all right. Okay, so my red thread a day stitching, made this happen every day but 1, but then I caught up. So Harriet Salt, Bristol sampler from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. She's gorgeous. She's a big girl. I am stitching mine on 56 count cream from Swigart using 103 silk thread. Find it. Colour number 648. This is what I've got left of spool number 4. So by the time you see me next time, this will definitely be empty and we'll be into number 5. It says 6. I've got more than that, so we'll be fine if we need it. Okay, step back, you'll be able to see this is where the whole thing so far. This is as low as it goes. This is the bottom. I've now cut it off my big piece of fabric. Okay, so what have I stitched since we last seen each other? Down here at the bottom, because I wanted to get to the bottom, because there's 4 columns, 3 and 4, and rather than going across now, I'm kind of doing a column and coming down, doing a column coming down. Just makes it easier because some things don't line up perfectly, and that's part of how Harriet stitched it, and I just want to get it so I can get them as close as I can. So little bit down the bottom here is now completed. Pretty sure it was in through here, and we come up and I did this row because this was closer to line up with this one where it needed to be, those 6 flowers, and 5 of the 7 stars that are across here. So 1.5 stars to go. We'll finish that tomorrow, and then we're into the next row coming down. Right. It's going to take a little bit longer yet to finish Harriet. Like I said, she's my every morning stitch before I go to work. Sometimes 1 thread, sometimes up to 3, just depends on how the morning's going, and you know, sometimes you got to go and do things before work, or work turns up a bit earlier than expected. But loving how Harriet is coming out. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh. A couple of chairs beside me rather than all over the floor this time. Okay, so the next group of samplers I'm going to show you are my want to complete this year samplers. Oops, hold on, we'll just pop Harriet's thread away, her silk away, otherwise we'll lose it. Okay, Florence Mary Dickinson. Hands Across Sea samplers, exclusive to Hobby House Needleworks, I believe still available. This is gorgeous. Right, so I worked quite a bit on Florence. I worked on the border, and I've popped in my relative's name. So we'll give you the full view where we're at. We're getting closer. Okay, so I had to do the greenery along the bottom here. I've started putting in the blue flowers along the bottom, and I finished off the couple down this side. Like I said, I've put the greenery in. I haven't added anything to this side of the border yet. It's just all the greenery. But then I was kind of overworking on the border flowers, and I thought, right, it's time to put in my great-grandmother's name. Now this is my great-grandmother on my mother's side, and she passed away when I was 15. Yes, 15. And I grew up in a reasonably small town, and we lived on one side. My grandmother, which I haven't done a sample for yet, she lived on the other side of town, and my great-grandparents lived across the road. Even more hilarious, my nana lived about 15 houses on the next street down. So they're all within walking distance of each other. But my grandparents here lived across the road from my other grandparents. So you couldn't go and see one without going to see the others. They knew if you'd gone to one and not the others. So Myra Louisa Pope, she was born in 1904 and passed away in 1988. And it's the colours that remind me of her. I really wanted to put a lemon tree in here because they had a huge big lemon tree in their front yard. But I'm not going to put that, alter the sampler to put that in there. I'm going to put the lemon tree in my sampler that I'm designing for me, because that's part of one of my memories of my childhood. But I can't wait to have this finished. Absolutely cannot wait. What are we stitching on? 46 count creme brulee tabby cat linen using 103 silk threads. So we have the border to finish with the flowers, and I'm going to stitch some more of that this week coming, definitely. This next session I'd like to be able to get ideally all the blue flowers on this side done, and possibly the red done on all the finishing, because there's red up here, and then it only leaves the green fill-in leaves to finish, which will be quite easy to kind of work on. There's a star that goes here and one goes here. This one here gets repeated over here, and this one here gets repeated here. But I don't want to do the fun things until I finish that border, or I want to work on the border, and I might reward myself as I finish each part of the border to do the next part along. But another one almost there. So like I said, I have what, 20 days until the end of the month, or 21 days to the end of the month. We're in July, 31, isn't it? So 21 days. Today will be out, won't get a lot of stitching done today. I've got things to do, and like I said, I'm going to help a friend out this afternoon, so that will be that. Won't get much stitching, but we'll see. So yes, my version of Florence Mary Dickinson, and here's the book again. Love it. Love how it's coming together. Okay, the next one that is a concentration to finish is Examplars from the Heart, and They Sinned, the big long skinny one. Mine's been stitched on 40 count using DMC threads. I'm just trying to, oh no, I have got the tag for the fabric. Hold one moment please. And my fabric is whole bristle from Fox and Rabbit. Come on, clipped. Why have we come on, clipped? Okay, so here is, I've put it on one board, folded over to make it a bit easier to show it. Here is the top half, as best we can see. Cute. Love it. I know I've still got to go back and do something here, because I was going to put my name, but I've changed that. Okay, bottom half. And here is where I worked on. This is the last section. Right, so we've folded in this tree here. A few more links in the pond. All of under here. The person, the rock they're sitting on. This part here, the squirrel, and these guys here. And I can't remember if I had that part already done or not. I think I did that because I had thread left from this one. And I've done more lengths of grass. So I've been trying to do some of that as I go, because there's two colours and I've only done one so far. And I kind of want to get to the edge here and down and finish the motifs before I start bringing in the other colour, because it's going to be quick full once the other colour starts coming in. Or I may leave it, no, I'm going to do the two, I think. But I have made a decision, and it's really hard to see. Okay, so down the bottom here, hopefully that's focusing enough. It has wording down here. I'm not going to put that in. I'm going to put my name and the year that I've stitched it at the bottom here, so that up here I can go back and put the numbers rather than leaving them blank. But I don't want this I have wrought, or is it 1801 and finished by my hand 202. I just want my name, and I may put the 2 years that I've stitched it, but I think I'm just going to put 2025 for finishing, because it is going to be finished this year. Can't wait to get back to that. That's definitely a Florence and Ann Diaper are the two that I probably pull out and work on first every fortnight. As soon as I finish filming, while it's uploading, I'll work on one of those. Okay, another project that I do want to finish this year is Hannah Campbell from Hands Across the Sea Sampler. Started this a couple of years ago now for Stash Sampler Starts. She needs to be done. She's gorgeous. So she is being stitched on up in the attic. Hold one moment, please. No, 46 count vintage sand dune lakeside linens using, they're all going to fall out too because they're sitting just in there in the tray. 103 6. Okay, so this is where I'm at. So I made quite a bit of progress this time around. So this time around I'd had a couple of these done, and I've come the rest of the way down the border and started doing the green along the bottom. I've put in the wave divider in the middle, and started bringing some of the green down this side. Just wanted to make sure I'd lined up. A little bit more of the blue, a little bit of the gold here, and that was really it this time around. But gosh, it blows it out, that light, doesn't it? I've got, of course, the light behind the camera, and I've got a light directly right here. So it does, problem is, if I don't have the light, you can't see it, it's all too dark. Oh, I'm enjoying stitching on this one as well. And I'll try and get more of the bones in this time. And I think there's one more. Yeah, no, we're definitely going to try and get the bones in. I'm going to show you why. Because this row here is all eyelet stitches. But there's 4 colours, if I remember. Where's the page? 1, 2, 3, 4 different colours. Algerian eyelets, not eyelet, just eyelets. Algerian eyelets, 4 colours. And you start from the middle one, and then you work the ones on the outside, and then the next outside. So they're going to take a little bit of time to get done. So we'll definitely try and finish this border along, at least the bones. And we may start up on this, because the trees and this house is going to take a lot. And the rest of it's just little easy fill-ins really, but we'll get some more bones done this week coming. So Hannah, that's number 1, 2, 3 to finish this year, plus Harriet, of course. So next, I'll show you the piece before I show you the booklet. My goodness. Mary Ann Diaper, Hands Across the Sea Samplers. She's gorgeous. So I only got 1 day to work on this. This was a day I had a real bad headache. Well, I'd had the headache the night before, and I wasn't feeling very well. And I had the next day off as well, because I was still not 100%. And I stitched this in the afternoon, so I didn't do a lot. I did start bringing in some more of the wording, which May is, there's still another 2 words to go in the middle here. So I did a little bit of the 1/1. And then I came down the border here, and I worked on the pink flowers. So 1, 2, 3. So there's a blue one there, a blue one there, and a blue one there to go. And of course the flowers are on the bottom. Right. We're getting there. So Mary Ann is another one that needs to be finished. She's gorgeous. This one is my only 36 count sampler that I'm still stitching. 1/2 threads using DMC. And it's just a whole pile of cat fur there. My helpful helpers. So yes, Mary Ann, I'll pop you there. Okay, so project number 5. I guess number 6. If we count Harriet as part of the set, then 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So 6. So 6 samplers, 6 months to go. I think we can do it. Okay. Queen of the May, 2018. My book's starting to fall apart. Sarah Braizear, the one with the big deer in the middle, and all of the satin stitches around the border. 56 count, white, Swigart, and I'm using DMC threads. But my lengths of threads are only about this long because I don't want them to fray. And it works well because honestly, by the time you stitch a little part of a motif, you finish your thread anyway. Okay, so here is the full picture now of where we're at. This time around, I worked over in this corner. So I have now brought the border here all the way down. Just these 3 colours here need to be filled in for the satin stitch, but this is the bottom. So we've made it all the way down there with lots and lots of satin stitch. But 1, 2, 3, 4. So from where my finger is along down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motifs have now been completed in the inner border. So I'm happy with that progress because they were a lot. And of course I brought the base border along here for the satin stitches, brought that further along because that was still way back here at the corner. So it was quite nice to do a run of this and then come and do the green, a run, a bit of the green, and kind of alternate it out. And then when I started to fill in these, I then went back up and used what was left to do the satin stitch. And I worked another couple of threads into the tree here as well. So Sarah is getting there. She's going to be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Still a lot of work to go yet. And if we probably tilt her that way. The light really is being a nuisance today, isn't it? And the cat's back inside. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay, so there's Sarah. That is my 6 must finishes this year. Okay, one moment please. Right, we slid across the couch the remainder of the samplers that I've worked on. This is definitely going to be a shorter video than normal. Okay, so I worked on Forest Embroidery, Everflowering Garden. This is stitched on hog bristle. Hog bristle? Nope, 46 count up in the attic, sorry, from Fox and Rabbit. Using DMC threads. I love this sampler. It is so busy, yet so beautiful. And there's parts that you can just stitch quite easily without, you get lost in the thoughts, I guess, without panicking too much on where you're at. So here we go. Here is the full sampler. And what did I stitch on? Come forward, don't I? Okay, so this time I worked in around the middle here. So this bird peacock here, this peacock here. This is part of a butterfly, this is butterfly, this butterfly here, and then this one here is the start of the flowers that are in the middle, which is these guys here, so it's right there. So it's that next central dividing pot, because I want to kind of get that in so that I can then start working on this and then come back and do these big trees. But love how that's coming together. Slow and steady. Gorgeous. And the colours work so well together. Exciting. Exciting to see good progress on these things. Okay. Right, so my last whip. Yep, my last whip. Like I said, it's not going to be as long as normal. Is Alice Clark, 1844. I Had a Father Kind and True, from Cross Stitch Antiques. It's one with lots of red, green pages in it. I love how this is turning out. So I started this a couple of years ago and have really been kind of slack on working on it. This is the board that she's on now. So bottom of sampler, and up here is where the top turn is. I'll come in closer so you can see. So there's the bones of the border. Right, so I'm working way down here though. It's going to be kind of hard to see that, isn't it? Okay. What did I work on this time? So this little wee one here is kind of hard to see, isn't he? This one motif is now finished. You can see him in person, but obviously with the light, his colours are washing out. I'll have photos at the end anyway, so you can see. And this tree here. So 46 count, and we're using 103 silk threads. Pull them out of the jar. Beautiful. I love using those. So another motif completed, and the branch to the tree. I can't even show you what that's going to look like because of course it's the antique on the front, but slow and steady progress. Love it. Okay, that is all of my stitching. What can I say? It's been a busy fortnight. I've managed to get quite a bit on some of them and not so much on the others, and that's just the way it is. That's okay. One stitch at a time, we'll get these projects done. One stitch at a time, we'll get our samplers done on the back wall. One stitch at a time, we'll get our Christmas ornaments or Christmas pieces finished. Lots to do. Lots of stitching I still want to get done. So I'm all ready for carrying on with my Christmas in July stitching, my sampler stitching, and you'll see all of them again, and definitely my top 6 that I want to finish this year. And as I finish those, some of the other whips will start coming through. I'm ready for stash sampler starts, as we know, and 1st of August I will be starting Louisa Coolmore, another Hands Across the Sea sampler, Bristol sampler, and that's a stitch along with Judith and Lee. So ladies, yes, 1st of August I'm starting that one, only because I'm going to be away for work and easier to take a project that has one thread. And if I take that one, I can work on both my Bristol samplers, and still do my normal red thread a day and my new sampler start. Just trying to think what else. I'm not sure what I'm doing second, but I do know at the last weekend in August, I'm starting, and it's gone out of my head, the name of it. I'll mention it next time, with Susie and Anna. Anyway, they're going to be at the Data Chain Retreat in Australia. I'm not going this year, unfortunately. But we're going to start, all of us are going to start at that weekend while they're there. And I'll start mine at home and they'll start theirs together. But essentially we're all starting together. And I can't think of the name of it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I went and got it. I just couldn't not say what it was. Oh my gosh. A Nice Couvreur 1896 Reflector Swan. I love this one. Look at that border. Oh, beautiful. So that's the one with Susie and with Anna. Our stitch along. So yes, that will be the end. The rest I'm not sure when I'm, like, what order I'm starting them in. But I'll go all over that again in the next Flosstube, because it'll be closer to the 1st of August to starting them. What else can I think of? That's probably really it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, those that do subscribe, for liking and for commenting. I love getting all the comments. I do try and answer them as quickly as I can. Sometimes I'm at work and I just don't have the time or the brain power to stop and think of the appropriate answer, so they do get sometimes a couple of days later when I can actually stop and read them properly. But thank you very much. Thank you to all the new subscribers that have come along, and for my faithful returning subscribers. You guys all make my day. So yeah, happy stitching everybody, one stitch at a time. Bye.